Oh, hello there. It's been a bit of a while, hasn't it? Maybe too long. You could say I've been asleep, dreaming. Put that aside. Do we try this one more time? I think we do. Alright, so let us begin with the cozy cottage, or what was supposed to be a cozy cottage and ended up growing more and more as I kind of liked the build idea the more I got into it. But below me here is the palette of blocks that we'll be using, and then we're going to start with calcite, perhaps my favorite building block, on the foundation. So we're going to start from this front corner, and we're going to build this one up a total of 5 times. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is going to be the main height of this structure. Then we're going to go over to the smaller one here, just to reference it. This one's only going to go up 4 times. And then that one over there will be the same height as the main 2. So we're going to just wall up around the sides, but I'm going to carve out the pieces as we go. So we're going to go over, and then we're going to skip a spot. This will be your off-center door. And then now that we're at window height, we're going to skip a block here, and then go over 2. Same thing, keep following around. Then we're going to get to this point here. We're going to skip 2, place 1, skip another 2, place 1. And then a lot of the windows are going to be up to you. You don't have to put windows where I'm putting them, but I'll just show you where I put them for the main build. So we're going to skip here in the center, go around, and then same thing. We're just going to mirror that side there. This one's a little different. We're going to be off center, but not quite with that one. We're going to be 1 in. We're going to keep going around. This one's a little trickier because it doesn't line up properly. So we're going to go over from there 3 blocks, skip 2, and then we're just going to round it off. Same thing, 1 in the center. Just going to mirror that side. And then 1 last window here, skip in the center. And then we're just going to build up from there. There. Now what you should have is an open-ended looking shoebox. But before we go any higher than that, we're going to take our spruce staircases with our stripped spruce logs, and we may as well grab our spruce planks. Because before we go any further, we may as well add in the access to the 2nd floor. So to do that, we're going to go over 3 times from the wall, or just line up with this corner here. Place the first step, second step, place the platform, and then all we're going to do is bring this up until it's flush with the top floor. I just like to add in the spruce wood now. It's just more of a decorative piece. And then while we're here, we may as well just platform it. Now that that is done, let's continue walling up. So we're going to address the rooftops first on the smaller sides. So we're going to go to this angled piece here, and we're going to start by going 1 in, and then up 2, then 1 more, up 3, and then lastly up 4. And we're just going to descend from there. And let's go address the smaller rooftop. All that is easy. 1, 2, and 3 right in the center. So for the large part of the structure, we're going to count up 5 more times. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then for the base, let's just drag around 1 level. And then we can go ahead and add in our windows. These ones will be off center of the ones beneath them. So we're not going to have a window on this side, but I'll put one there over the door. On the back side here, I actually want one dead center, just so it doesn't line up with that one. And then this one you can put anywhere in this area here, but I'm just going to have it line up with the window underneath it. And then we're going to just go ahead and do what we did, fill it up. So one more thing we got to do to the box is put that very same roof structure right here. So we go up 2, 3, 4, 3, and 2. Now for the roof texture, I chose red terracotta just because for some reason Ghibli likes to use a lot of the red earthy tones for the rooftop, that is. And I'm just going to follow along with an overhang here over the building, just following the outline for the rooftop. that. And then over to the small roof here, going to do the same thing. We're just going to drag this over with an overhang. Yes, this one will be a little different just because it doesn't have a lot of room underneath. And then finally, giving the house its final shape, just going to put a roof here on the top. So technically, you could end here. You have a functional house. It's a bit bland, but let's get into the details. So while we're on the roof, we may as well do the easiest part, and that is just throwing in some pink terracotta to break up that red texture tone. Now the key here is always just to try and make it look as natural or random as possible. So we're going to take our spruce staircases, we're going to get rid of our rooftops here, and then we'll take my favorite, some spruce trapdoors as well. So we're going to start with the overhang. I'll give you a close-up for this, for the one, and then the rest will just follow suit. So we're going to take our staircase upside down, follow along the roof overhang here, and then we'll take our spruce trapdoor, same thing, just follow along with that open spot. And then I'm going to do this to the rest of the roof. There. Now it's starting to look a little more shapely. So now we have the fun task coming in. I guess what we could do before we start really detailing is we're going to take our birch wood, some white wood, our white wool, our pale oak logs, and we don't need the calcite, and we're just going to sprinkle this into the entire building. This will just break up that one tone. There, now it's starting to stand out a little bit more. So let's move into the windows. Windows are quite easy. We're going to take our glass panes, still using my favorite spruce trapdoors here. And I guess we could take our pale log here, oak staircases. What I like to do is, where this door is 3 tall, actually, speaking of door, let's grab that spruce door, and let's put this here, and then we'll put the spruce door inside, just to give it that little extra depth. And for the windows, we kind of follow a very similar pattern for all of them, minus a few little things here and there. I'm going to break one block above, put in a upside down staircase, and then some glass panes. And I'm going to follow that up with the spruce trapdoors, like that. And then I'm just going to repeat that for all the windows, except for, this one won't have the staircase above it. And then one final touch for you to have an actual workable home. Let's just take our staircases here. I'm going to use mossy cobblestone on one side, and then the mossy stone brick just to finalize there. So for those of you who want to detail a little further, I'll show some pieces, and then we'll skip some others. So let's start with the front of the building. I'm going to give the windows here some little flower boxes, nice tulip on top, and some trapdoors surrounding it like that. Underneath, you could just use a slab like that, just to kind of make it look like it's being held up, or you could use a staircase too. And then for a little lantern, I like to just give this building a little more life. So I'm going to have 2 staircases, a slab, an iron chain. You can have this come down a couple times if you want. I'm just going to have it go down once. There we go, little light. And then some vines. This is just to break up the white texture that is so prominent. Obviously, if you do not have vine growth off in your world, this could be more of a problem than a good thing. You could always break it up too with some trapdoors, just interspersed with the vines. And then I'm going to keep going down. I'm going to put another little flower box right here. Nice red tulip trapdoors surrounding that. Then underneath this one, it's a little different because now we're at the base. The base is a bit different on how you want to do it. I didn't like it so flat. That's why I did a little extra over there. So the extra is quite a bit of different material. Again, you don't have to do this. This just makes it stand out a little more. So underneath the flower pot, I'm going to put a mud brick. Some staircases I'm going to sprinkle around. Some will be higher and some will be lower. really all I'm doing is just to kind of give the building a little more oomph to look at, I guess. I don't know. It just breaks up the ground area, so it's not so flat. And, you know, I'll just follow around. Maybe I'll even change some of the foundation textures, constantly adding in different blocks here and there. Really, all you're doing with this is kind of hiding the imperfections of the building, and that's where the azalea rose bushes come in. So what these are nice for is, yes, is it lazy? Maybe, but it's part of the design. So in certain areas that feel a little flatter than others, I just put some random bushes just to kind of hide up the imperfections of the building. Just gives it a little more life. And I will usually do that in certain areas where they feel weak, but you don't really know what's weak until you get to those points. So again, just one more time, I'll show you over here. Adding in these staircases and random mud bricks where I think they'll work. And then also another little flower box here. Is the flower box always needed? No, they just look good. And that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully I'll have something sooner. But until then, hopefully you enjoyed. I'll think about other builds. I'm not quite sure how I will tackle future projects, but as always, until next time, see you later. Oh, that didn't work very well.